Hello everyone, Caleb here and welcome to the channel. On today's special, we venture out to the Cowan Railfan Day in Cowan, Tennessee, an event inspired by our own train watching get-togethers in Decatur. It was held by our good friend Brian Judd and the Cowan Depot Museum, and please be sure to check out Brian's channel and the museum website in the description below. We had several familiar faces in attendance, including several members of the River City Rail Club, our Nashville friends Reed, Michael from Rusty Boxcar, Chris, they were all in attendance, as well as our friends from Rail Moments, UP Dave and Mid-Tennessee Railfan from Virtual Railfan, and Vince Webb, owner of Iron Rail Cams, whose first rail cam location is actually right here in Cowan. We had a really great time, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Zeb, Elijah, and I made about an hour drive from Huntsville to Cowan. Within minutes of our arrival, a northbound descends the grade. You know it's going to be a good day when you don't even have time to set up at your location and there's already a train coming. Here we have M280, a just about daily auto-rack train from Case, South Carolina to Louisville, Kentucky, making its way north through Cowan. And as I said, our first train, within the first 5 minutes of being here, I didn't even have time to get any of my equipment set up. Today is going to be a good day. Now, before we get too far into the video, I would like to take some time to explain the interesting operations here at Cowan. Cowan rests along the CSX Chattanooga Subdivision, which runs between Nashville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee, the line's namesake city, with the Chattanooga Yard located in Walhatchee, and the line running via Smyrna, Murfreesboro, and Tullahoma, Tennessee, dipping down into Stevenson and Bridgeport, Alabama, where the Norfolk Southern operates from Stevenson to Chattanooga on trackage rights, and we have a video on the channel of that location as well, and finally following I-24 the rest of the way into Chattanooga. Cowan sits at about the Milepost OOJ87, so probably about 3/5 of the way from Nashville to Chattanooga. However, just south of Cowan is where things get very interesting. Just outside of town, the railroad ventures into the Cumberland Plateau. In order to make it to the Cowan Tunnel at the crest of the mountain, there's about a 2% or greater grade on either side of the mountain. Therefore, most trains need a push to make it over the mountain, usually provided by two G-bows. At Cowan, a helper sits stationed waited to be needed. These are the G-bows. When a southbound comes and needs a push, the pushers will run to the rear of the train and tie on. Then the southbound begins to tackle the grade towards Sherwood, Tennessee. Sometimes a northbound will also need a push as well. In this event, the pusher will go to Sherwood, link up with the northbound, and the northbound will take the signal at Tantalon to make it over the hill to Cowan. Usually the pusher will cut off on the fly, and sometimes you will see this with northbounds at the depot at Cowan. Unfortunately, we didn't quite see that here. We did get close, but this is definitely a very interesting operation to watch in action. And just like that, I think I hear another train coming. All this talk about the pusher operation, and here comes the pusher. This morning, the pusher is running as H38119, and they're headed over the hill to go pick up a northbound. Business is about to be picking up. Now we see who the pusher went to go get. It's M584 Daily Manifest shuttle train from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Nashville, Tennessee. Today's power set is 3 G-Bows of varying traction power and paint schemes with a SpongeBob cab GP38-3 sandwiched in between. Very nice K5LA on the leader as well. Just maybe there's a southbound waiting on him and also waiting to get a push. sure enough, after seeing M584 by and then getting the pushers tied on, loaded coal train C302 heads south to conquer the mountain. This is an as-needed coal run from Evansville, Indiana to the Bowen Power Plant in Stylesboro, Georgia, a very popular train along the Chattanooga Subdivision. Sometimes, during peak power usage times, you can see several of these trains on a single day alone roaming along the Chattanooga Subdivision. Today, we just have the one. There's another sitting in Nashville, but it won't run until we are long gone. Knowing that it would be a little bit until we see our next train after C302, we walked across the tracks to go eat lunch. Today's choice is Fiesta Grill, a fantastic Mexican restaurant that I would recommend to anyone who comes to Railfan at Cowan. It's basically Cowan's version of my favorite restaurant to eat at while I'm watching trains, the Freight House in Hartselle. Somehow, we made it in and out in time to see the next northbound come down the mountain.
Jones told me that an anonymous source told him that ship CSX would be.
Another manifest comes down the grade into Cowan. This is M648 daily manifest train from Waycross, Georgia to the BRC clearing yard in Chicago. No, you're not crazy. I have a few videos over the summer of M648 running via Birmingham. Every so often, CSX will flip M648 and counterpart M647 to run via Birmingham and flop back to running via Chattanooga. During the summer, there was a curfew on the Henderson sub that was causing M648 to terminate in Nashville, and it's easier for them to run 648 into the yard from the south end via Birmingham instead of turning it in from the Chattanooga side, because the Chattanooga side, you actually have to turn into the yard going north and turn south. And then there was a curfew on the Chattanooga subdivision, so they decided it would just be easier to keep 648 running via Birmingham, and once that was over, they moved it back to Chattanooga. M648 is usually a really good train to look for some fallen flag freight cars, so be sure to look through the train and see if you can spot any. This is a pretty big and heavy train, so it definitely has the pusher on the rear. Now it's dispatcher changeover time, and since the trains are playing standoff, we had a few shenanigans occur. One of the better ones was watching a Railfan operate a very nice remote-controlled plane. He had way better skills flying the plane than I did trying to follow the plane with a camera.
Oh.
Whoa!
Close one. It's a little turbulent air show. I love it. Definitely turbulent.
It's different than your standard drone.
Yeah.
It's a lot less annoying sounding.
Yes?
Yeah.
I've got one of the gas powered ones.
And it can glide.
Scale.
Drones can't glide.
No. We'll have a spectacle, that's for sure.
Here's your graded homework for thanks.
Thanks, Oh my goodness, I got it.
Now that we have our second shift dispatcher on, the hottest southbound on the Chattanooga Subdivision, I-141 gets a signal to come south. I-141 is a daily intermodal, sometimes with auto racks on the head end running between the intermodal facility in North Baltimore, Ohio, and Jacksonville, Florida. 141 and counterpart I-142 run via Chattanooga because they work the Nissan plant in Smyrna, Tennessee, as well as the intermodal facility in Fairburn, Georgia. Today, I-141 is massive, coming in at over 13,000 feet. And yes, I know you're probably hoping, but it does have the pusher on board too, considering that large train.
No, that was 506,000.
Because this says on here it's 8,000. This is not 8,000. This is not 8,000.
Maybe this one's 13,000. That's auto rack on it. Yeah, we'll make sense. They gotta be the last one.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't. Oh, there's a picture.
I bet this book is going to provide this scroll. Oh, I can hear them already.
The pushers, now running as H382 as they've had a shift change, have cut off from I-141 and are coming back to what is known as the penalty box. I-141 is meeting a northbound at Tantalon, so I guess that northbound did not need a push.
Hey, Caleb.
Turns out I-141 was meeting its counterpart, I-142, the hottest northbound on the Chattanooga Subdivision. 142 certainly isn't as big as 141 today, as it rolls down the hill at speed like a big boy with no need of assistance. After seeing 142 by and running around a southbound manifest that was awaiting a relief crew, a different manifest, M583, blasts by headed for the hill. Jibo class leader number 3000 takes charge of the train as it makes its way to North Carolina, with what were our Decatur Oakworth Yard engines in trail. One of those is CSX 6900, which if you look very closely you can see a faded out chassis system logo on the nose. And yes, this train does have a pusher in the rear. Now it looks like that other southbound manifest has finally got a recruit. Turns out it's M585 making its way towards Wauhatchie. As you can see, it's got the theme power of the day, which we've seen a lot on several trains. A Jibo leading a YN2 trail fail. And of course, this train needs a push. We were treated to a night photo shoot of the equipment that's on display at the Cowan Depot Museum, courtesy of fellow railfan Dylan Holvey. We had to leave before the lights arrived to get better pictures, but we did get some good shots nonetheless, so here those are. Hope you enjoy them. Well, that'll do it for this adventure. We had an absolutely fantastic time in Cowan and look very much forward to the spring event that they're planning to have in Cowan. In addition, we're proud to announce that Decatur's new Railfan event, Frost Fanning, will be held the first Saturday in January, January 4th, 2025, at the historic Decatur Union Depot in Decatur, Alabama. These events are so much fun as we connect with all our Railfan friends from both nearby and abroad. If you've never been to one, try one out. They're a lot of fun. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. We'll leave off with H382 headed to the house as we head to our house. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll give you signal indication to the next video. Have a good day.
I mean, because that's the top tier.
Yes. He's got some amazing photos taken over the air.
Cha-cha-cha-chiva.